We gather for nights like this not simply to celebrate films, but to affirm the principles that allow meaningful work to exist at all. The Atlantis Awards were founded on a belief that craft matters, that intention matters, and that how a story is told is inseparable from why it is told. Across every category and every deliberation, the jury is guided not by scale or visibility, but by clarity of vision, integrity of execution, and respect for the audience and the subject alike. Because of that standard, recognition here is selective by design. Some forms of acknowledgement appear only when the work compels it, when restraint would do a greater disservice than recognition. What follows is not a catalogue of winners, but a reflection of a year's worth of effort, risk, and commitment. Work that stood out not for its certainty of outcome, but for the seriousness with which it was undertaken. Thank you for being part of a community that continues to value discernment, intention, and care in the work we choose to recognize. Welcome to the Atlantis Awards. Fear does not always arrive through spectacle. Often, it takes shape quietly, in confined spaces, unresolved tension, and the moments where anticipation does more work than action. The most effective psychological horror understands this restraint. It trusts atmosphere, pacing, and implication, allowing unease to accumulate rather than announcing itself outright. In reviewing this project, the jury responded to a film that demonstrates control over those elements, one that uses limitation as a strength and understands how framing, silence, and suggestion can carry emotional weight. For its disciplined approach to tension and its confidence in letting fear emerge gradually, we are pleased to recognize Corners of Fear. Documentary filmmaking carries a particular responsibility, not only to observe, but to listen, and to recognize when the most important truths are the ones left unsaid. The strongest non-fiction work resists simplification. It creates space for complexity, contradiction, and silence, trusting the audience to engage with what is present rather than what is prescribed. In reviewing this project, the jury was drawn to a film that demonstrates patience and ethical clarity, one that approaches its subject with care, allowing meaning to emerge through accumulation rather than assertion. For its restraint, integrity, and commitment to honoring lived experience without distortion, we are pleased to recognize Unspoken.
No w ogóle ja mam bardzo duży problem z emocjami. Ja nie mogę określić, czy byłem zakochany, czy nie, więc raczej wątpię, bo nie czułem tego.
Raz, pan. O, właśnie!
Myślałeś, że będziesz się jąkał?
Nie,
Nie?
nie.
I w ogóle się
W ogóle.
nie martwiłeś?
W ogóle.
Naprawdę?
Mhm.
O. No jąkanie raz, że odbiera nam poczucie własnej wartości w momencie, jeżeli jeszcze nie mamy do tego naszych fundamentach, które się wywodzą jakby właśnie z dzieciństwa, od naszych rodziców. Poszło? W tym momencie najważniejsze jest dla mnie wyleczyć kontuzję, wrócić do treningów i przygotować się do mistrzostw.
Some films distinguish themselves not by scale but by the precision of their ideas, by how confidently they take a simple premise and push it to its most expressive conclusion. The strongest genre work understands that invention alone isn't enough. What matters is control, of tone, of pacing, and of how concept is translated into cinematic language. In reviewing this project, the jury responded to a film that demonstrates that control consistently, one that balances creativity with discipline and spectacle with intention, never losing sight of the story at its center. For its clarity of execution, imaginative restraint, and command of craft, we are pleased to recognize I Made the Invisible Man.
My brilliance. The world was not ready to see me. I was erased.
If Julian is the Invisible Man, then what else or who else might history have erased? How many stories are hiding in plain sight?
Guess everybody wants to be seen for something.
But at least now people know my name. I'm finally a legend.
You're actually running with this? You know it's all nonsense, right?
I don't care if it's true or not, Vic. Truth's not what sells. Just tell your story, sell the myth.
The missing years. The lost legend.
So what's the deal with this latest one? Manchester's answer to the mummy.
I'll dig. I'll drag it up. I'll tear the truth out of the dark if I have to.
I can disappear anywhere. Even here.
How's it feel to meet the real Invisible Man? Any tingles?
Animation demands a different kind of commitment, one measured not in days on set, but in months of sustained attention, iteration, and belief in the work long before an audience ever sees it. At its strongest, animated storytelling is not defined by style alone, but by intention, by how form, rhythm, and visual language are shaped to serve emotional clarity rather than spectacle. In reviewing this project, the jury responded to a film that demonstrates that level of authorship, one created with patience, discipline, and a clear understanding of what the medium makes possible when it is treated with seriousness and care. For its control of form, emotional precision, and the commitment evident in every frame, we are pleased to recognize In Half.
Now you know what will happen to you, my son. Don't you remember what you've done? Are you ready to follow me?
Do you like my train?
The jury noted Cold Brew's attention to emotional architecture, where environments hold memory, desire reshapes space, and control emerges quietly through repetition and proximity. Budapest Cops demonstrates a disciplined documentary approach grounded in observation rather than spectacle.
Figyelem! Itt a rendőrség!
Azt a mindenit! Értek a pályaütés. Adáson indul.
A bűnügyi bevetési osztályon dolgozó akcióősök munkáját mutatjuk be.
Ha egyértelműen benn van és nem akar kijönni, akkor gondolom törő.
Látok ott egy kis hajót, hogyha sikerülne, Józsi, akkor azt meg kéne állítani, jó?
Kiemelünk! Ez most tényleg nem sétagalop. Egy kis mamát kell nagyon gyorsan a szülőszobába juttatni.
5
történt egy vonatgázolás.
Furán fog hangzni, de nekünk ez egy munka.
Én akkor újra kezdeném, akkor is ezt csinálnám.
6 évesen kezdtem el motorozni. Olyan munkát akartam, ahol motorozhatok. Szeretem csinálni. Ott az emberünknek a feje.
Úristen, próbálok profi maradni, de nagyon nehéz.
Egyértelmű, hogy ebben a bőröntben van valami.
Ez a kutya fog rám támadni. Kicsit vadabb lesz a dolog, tehát fel kell venni nekünk is mellén.
Ugye az ember sok ilyen helyzettel találkozik, akkor akaratlanul megedződik.
Fenemet készen! Jöjjenek ki!
Idegölő macskaegér játék ez mindkét félnek.
Ez egy fejvadász akció.
Ez a neve?
2 óránként kopogtatunk, hogy na, otthon vagy-e már.
Jó lenne, ha meg lenne egy 3-szoros körözött.
Beütés! Rendőrség! Döbbenet, hogy meg lehet szokni.
Our Best Feature Screenplay winner, Unholy, establishes its power through atmosphere and restraint, inviting the audience into unease rather than explaining it. The following excerpt comes from the opening of the screenplay, where silence speaks first. Exterior. Isla de las Muñecas, Mexico. Night. A dark lagoon. Mist floats low over the black water. Dozens of dolls hang from the trees, their faces cracked, eyes dull with mildew. A single rowboat drifts between them, barely making a sound. In it, Don Ernesto, 60s, short, thin, with weathered face and hands, rows slowly, the oars slicing through the murky reflection of the dolls. He hums softly under his breath, a broken lullaby, the kind sung to calm a child. A doll's head twists slightly in the breeze. Another's glass eye catches the moonlight. The air is still. The only sound, the soft creak of the oars. Don Ernesto's gaze drifts from one doll to another, careful, almost reverent, as if passing through a graveyard. He never looks directly at any of them for too long. Something splashes nearby, quick, hollow. Don Ernesto pauses, listening. The hum dies in his throat. Only silence and the slow drip of water from an oar. After a moment, he resumes rowing, the lullaby returning, quieter this time. When the jury first encountered Hunt of the Hound, it challenged our expectations, not through content, but through form. Presented as a storyboard rather than a traditional screenplay, the work quickly revealed that this choice was not a limitation, but an extension of the storytelling itself. Through visual logic, implication, and restraint, it delivers a complete narrative experience without relying on exposition. The excerpt you're about to see comes from a moment where that confidence becomes unmistakable, and where meaning is suggested rather than explained. The Hound catches Azalea's scent at another point on the timeline.
Unit 9 is providing fire support. I need anti-air cover. What the?
No armor can stop the void-born hounds. Has Azalea finally been destroyed? The jury recognized Mark's performance in Basileus for its discipline and control. Rather than signaling its impact through volume or overt emotion, the performance builds authority through restraint, allowing silence, posture, and subtle shifts in presence to do the narrative work. What emerges is a character defined not by what is said, but by what is withheld. The excerpt you're about to see captures that quiet command at its most revealing.
Catharsis is an ancient Greek term known for letting out impurities from within the body. Whether that be from crying, from the spilling of blood, or humiliation. Remember, guys, you asked for this. How bad do you want it? Come on, sit down. All right. Don't bother screaming, okay? No one's gonna fucking hear you from outside, all right? Not if you agree. Not if you understand. Every fucking time, dude.
Whatever you want. I'll pay. My dad has money.
Well, skipped right over anger and denial. Went to bargaining.
Let me out!
Oh, there it is. What we want is for you to finish what you fucking started.
This is like one of those fake kidnappings, right? Like what they do for hazing?
Nah, there's the denial.
I'm gonna make this really simple for you. You do everything we say to do, or I'm gonna bash your fucking head in with this bat. Luke, sit down.
Mark, no, we need...
Just sit. I really thought you'd feel it. The power. The control over someone's most powerful instinct to survive. We just made this man take his own life. The most precious thing someone has, you have control over that. It makes you feel like a god. How can you not see that?
Earlier in the program, I made The Invisible Man was recognized as a multi-award winner. When it came time to consider performances, the jury returned to the work for a different reason. Elizabeth's performance stood out not as part of the film's success, but as a defining force within it, anchoring the story emotionally while navigating its formal and tonal complexity with remarkable control.
Why'd you do it, Julian? Honestly. I mean, what's the point in running around like it's Halloween every day? It just makes you the punchline.
Because it's the only way people notice me. For once I matter, I'm someone.
You think this makes you matter? It just makes you a joke that people pass around online. You disappear long enough, and the world doesn't remember you. It forgets you. You forget yourself.
But at least now people know my name. I'm finally a legend.
A legend? You're not a legend, Julian. You're desperate. Desperate to be noticed. Desperate for somebody to give a shit. And aren't you sick of it? Of hiding, pretending, performing? I am. I'm sick of watching it. I'm sick of seeing somebody throw themselves away just to be seen. Take the bandages off. Just stop fucking hiding and let the world see you. And even if they laugh, at least it's you, not this costume.
This next performance comes from a very different production context, and that difference matters. In The Orient, the jury recognized a performance shaped not by scale or resources, but by focus, intention, and instinct. What stood out was not polish, but presence, and an understanding of character that exceeded the circumstances in which the work was made. The following excerpt offers a glimpse of that achievement.
Where am I? Where am I? Let me out! Let me out! Let me out! Where am I?
Calypso is a student project that makes its impression quickly. Within a very brief form, the jury responded to the assurance of its voice and to how decisively it establishes tone, rhythm, and intention. Rather than explain itself, the work invites the viewer in and trusts implication to do the rest. Animation, especially at the student level, demands a level of endurance, patience, and authorship that few filmmakers ever experience firsthand. Every frame is a decision. Every second on screen represents hours of unseen labor, iteration, and belief in the work before anyone else ever sees it. During jury deliberations, one project repeatedly surfaced, not because it competed on scale or polish, but because of the clarity of its vision and the commitment behind it. A piece that reflected a director willing to take on one of the most demanding forms of storytelling and see it through with care and intention. While this project does not receive a formal award tonight, it represents the kind of work the jury felt compelled to acknowledge. It is our honorable mention, Beachline. Comedy is often mistaken for lightness, when in reality it demands precision, in tone, in timing, and in how much truth a filmmaker is willing to expose beneath the humor. The most effective comedic work doesn't soften difficult material, it sharpens it. It allows laughter to coexist with discomfort, recognition, and consequence. In reviewing this project, the jury responded to a film that demonstrates confidence in that balance, one that trusts its audience, commits fully to its voice, and understands exactly how far to push a moment before pulling back. For its clarity of tone, control of performance, and willingness to let humor carry meaning rather than deflect it, we are pleased to recognize Micah Dean is Dead to Me.
Lift it, bruh. Dude, lift it.
He's like grotesquely tall.
Yep, we gotta fold him.
Why is your car so small?
The cab is small to maximize trunk space.
Why aren't we putting him in the trunk?
That's the first place the cops will look.
How's this gonna work? Like knees to chest? Fetal? Is he flexible enough for that?
Do you get more flexible when you're dead? Bye, Micah Dean.
Some films distinguish themselves not only by what they show, but by the care with which they choose how to show it. Especially when working with sensitive material, ethical clarity becomes a form of craft, shaping perspective, protecting trust, and honoring the people at the center of the story rather than the spectacle around them. During jury deliberations, this project stood out for the seriousness of those choices, and for a filmmaker who consistently demonstrated restraint, responsibility, and intention throughout the work. While this film does not receive a formal award tonight, it represents a standard of consideration and integrity the jury felt compelled to acknowledge. It is our honorable mention. 14.
Yeah, I mean, I can only stay for a little bit. I have cheer practice.
You're a cheerleader?
Yeah.
So you can do all those flips and tricks and stuff?
I mean, yeah, I've been doing it since I was little.
Alright, let me see something.
No. Why?
Because it's cool. Come on, let me see what you can do.
Fine. Might be bad.
That's fine.
Don't record me.
My phone's in my pocket. Not bad.
Not bad. Only half my team can do that.
Only half your team?
Yeah. Okay, what the hell?
I've been doing taekwondo and boxing my whole life, so I guess we already have something in common.
Yeah, I guess we do. So what are you doing the rest of the day?
Well, I have a job interview down at the ice cream shop, so hopefully I can start working.
Sure you will. I mean, how can they deny you?
Thank you.
I better get going.
Okay, can we hang out again soon?
Definitely.
Mind if I walk you home?
Sure.
I'm the stage back, still right. And that's a story told, cause they not doing right. Your picture perfect. I'm the stage back.
Great stunt work is invisible when it's done well. Not because it goes unnoticed, but because it integrates so completely into the language of the film that the audience never questions it. At its highest level, stunt design is not about escalation. It's about precision, trust, and an understanding of how movement, impact, and physical risk serve story and character. In reviewing this project, the jury recognized stunt work that demonstrated discipline as much as ambition. Choreography that was clear, intentional, and executed with a respect for both safety and cinematic clarity. For its control, coherence, and the professionalism evident in every sequence, the jury is pleased to present the Best Stunts Award to Royal Retribution by the Ronin Stunt Team.
Vancouver, you're losing your touch, mate. I made it all the way to the border. Any further, I would have been out of the kingdom.
Everyone, stay calm. There's a djinn outside.
A djinn? And you brought it here?
I had no choice. My name is Ireel. I'm an elite paladin from the castle. If we work together, we can trap it.
There are assassins, sorcerers, and cursed individuals in here. Do you know what will happen if it gets a hold of any of them? Or me?
I have a plan.
You're playing with fire, using my comrade as a pawn in your quest for revenge.
Your naivety runs deep.
As we bring this program toward its close, we want to pause, not to conclude, but to reflect. What you've seen tonight represents only a small cross-section of the work that passed through this year's jury. Stories told with care, ambition, and an insistence on craft across form, genre, and scale. Every project shown here exists because someone chose to see it through, often without certainty, often without recognition, and always with a belief that the work itself mattered. These images are not a summary, and they are not an ending. They are a reminder of the breadth of voices, perspectives, and efforts that continue beyond this room and beyond this night. Thank you for being part of this moment and for supporting the work.
Thank you.